are good. So are the threes. But when you get in the middle, you had better freeze on Cut Sharks. And here's the host of Cut Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much. I thank you, and welcome to Card Sharks. Thank you for joining us at home. You were very kind. First of all, I would like to thank for the opening poem Velma Hickman of Philomath, Oregon, watching us on KVAL-TV, Channel 13. Thank you, Velma. We're in the second day of our final week of Turnabout with some of the top MCs playing for their favorite charities. And we're going to bring out two gentlemen now who have... Jack Clark has $5,175 for his favorite. Bill Cullen with $6,100 for his. The board is open. We're dealing out the cards. Let's meet these two fine gentlemen right now. Hello there, Jack. Hello, Jimmy. Doing very well. Bill? Yeah, you guys got to say hello yesterday, and that was it, because we had that great long match with Alex Trebek and Gene Rayburn.
We were mightily impressed with Gene Rayburn's the money cards. Boy, did he do a job.
Sensation.
Yeah.
Were you watching?
Well, you're all up there very good in the money department now. Everybody's well over 5,000. Alex, I think, is over 10. That's going to be very important because as we conclude the round robin, the top two are going to come back, and someone is going to get an additional $25,000 for their favorite charity.
Oh,
And that's a leader. That's not all.
that's not all?
No,
Uh-huh.
we get lunch.
Lunch.
We get lunch, too?
That's right.
Who is it you are going to try to win all that money for?
Oh, I sure hope I'm going to be more successful than I've been so far, although I'm grateful to this point. The National Committee for the Prevention of Child Abuse.
And Bill?
I am playing, Jim, for the Salvation Army. All my work is for the Salvation Army. Thank you.
Did you both get the cards?
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
sure did.
Here we go. Starting the best
that's
two out
good.
of three with a question to Jack.
Take no prisoners.
Jack, we asked 100 plumbers. Do you own a Rolls Royce? How many plumbers do own a Rolls Royce? That was a switch, wasn't it?
What, you only ask 100?
100 plumbers.
How many plumbers? I have a feeling, because oddly enough, you speak to a person who's just had an experience, the plumber at the house. They all could. But I have a feeling it's a low number. I'm going to say very low, 12.
12 out of 100 plumbers own a Rolls. Higher or lower, Bill?
Thanks, Jack.
It's all right, Bill.
Thanks, Jack. You gave me a lot of room to move around in there.
I know.
Yes. Knowing plumbers, I would say lower. They get a lot of money, but they save it, and they leave their tools in the truck.
Lower. The actual number of plumbers who own a Rolls Royce is 2. You're right. It is even lower. With very little room, Bill gutsily went lower, and he comes out on top with a 6.
Change that card, Jim.
Winning
as
the
we
question,
say.
he can change it. A king is a good change.
Lower, Jim.
Lower than a king, 10.
Freeze. That's it.
Bill, a little conservative. Keep Jack away from his cards.
Flamboyant move there.
Flamboyant.
Better one.
Bill, we asked 100 single women. Since inflation has gotten worse, have your dates started taking you to cheaper places? How many single women said yes? A lot of ladies started to giggle out there with it. How many single women said yes? Since inflation, their dates do take them to cheaper places.
I couldn't do that, Jack.
No.
Jim. There
No?
are no cheaper places than the ones we go to now.
That's right.
These days, everyone's straight out, right out front about money. I would say about 55. Not about, really exactly 55.
55 out of 100 now take them to cheaper places with inflation. Or are being taken to cheaper places.
I'm going to go against what would seem to be the probabilities here, because I have a feeling that they may not go out as often. But when they do, I have a feeling they go and say, let's do it, Sarah. So it's higher, I would think.
I never.
Was there how many single women said since inflation their dates do take them to cheaper places? You say even more?
Oh, no, fewer than, excuse
It
me.
sounded like your
Yes,
thinking was going that way.
I beg your pardon.
So you say lower.
Yeah.
The actual number of single women who said that since inflation their dates do take them to cheaper places is 42, and you're right, it is lower.
Well played, Jack.
Yeah, that may be right. They just don't go out as often, but they blow it when they go.
Yeah.
Jack, you've got a jack.
All right. We're going to play that and go lower.
Lower than the jack. Yes, a 3.
Higher.
Higher than a 3. An ace.
Lower.
Lower than the ace, a 10.
Freeze that card, folks.
Now, a freeze on a 10, but Jack needs just one card for the game. Mr. Clark.
Yes.
We surveyed 100 women who support the women's liberation movement. They all belong to the National Organization for Women. And we asked them, Have you ever told a man, don't talk down to me? How many feminists have said to a man, don't talk down to me?
Yeah, ton. I would think 140. I would say that's a pretty high number because that really is at the nub of the dispute, isn't it? 68.
68 out of 100 have said, don't talk down to me.
Every woman I know has said that to me at one time or another. I would say higher.
Higher than
Higher,
that?
yes.
Even more?
From my own experience, Jim.
The actual number of feminists who've said to a man, don't talk down to me, is 80. You're right. It is even higher, Bill. Very much higher. And now, Bill, you're looking at a 10.
Yes, and I can't change it.
You can indeed. You won the question.
I will change it then.
And
I will
you
change
see
it to
if you can
something
improve it.
infinitely.
Right up the middle.
Well, Jack, this might be goodbye. Higher.
Higher than an 8.
Oh,
He's
good.
right with a queen.
Lower, Jim.
Lower than a queen. An
Yes.
8.
Higher, Jim.
Oh, you're going to go
Yes,
for it.
I'm going to end this right now.
Hey. Oh, I didn't think you'd take the chance, but it paid off. We'll be right back with game 2 in a moment. Bill wins game 1.
.com.
Game 1 to gutsy Bill Cullen, taking a chance on the middle card, an 8. And now Jack Clark needs this game as we deal out the same 2 decks of cards with the next cards off the top of the deck. Were you as surprised as I was when he went with that, Jack?
Well, no, he's a lucky fellow, but he did say the luck of the Irish. Turns out we're both Irish, so nobody can win.
That's
folks.
right. We're both going to lose. Right. That's it.
Bill, this question to you.
All right.
Bill, we asked 100 third-grade girls, do you expect to marry a millionaire when you grow up?
Mm-hmm.
How many third-grade girls do expect to marry a millionaire?
How old is it? Third? 9? 9-ish, your third grade girl?
9,
Grade would
10,
be
somewhere in
8,
that
9,
vicinity.
yeah.
Okay, I would say then at least 60 of them did. I'd say 60, yeah.
60 optimistic third graders say they're going to marry a millionaire, Jack.
When you do your arithmetic at the rate of inflation now, an 8-year-old, by the time they get married, everybody
Everyone
will be a millionaire, or they will be starving to death. So I'm going to say higher.
Higher than that.
Yes.
Figure they're optimists at that age.
That's a big gap. I
The
think
actual
you're
number of third-grade girls who expect to marry a millionaire is 67. You're right, it's even higher. I did not expect that to be higher, but it was. And Jack Clark has a jack. I said that before. You got a jack the last
I'm going to
time.
play it lower.
Lower than a jack. Yes, and I.
good.
For one card, no, I'm going to go with the odds and play lower. See
He's
what
going to play it lower. And he's right with a 6.
Good.
Now I'm going to freeze.
Now he's going to freeze. 2 cards you don't want to lose. Question to you, Jack.
Yes, sir.
Jack, we asked 100 marriage counselors. Generally speaking, when a couple gets divorced, is it natural for them to end up hating each other? How many marriage counselors said, yes, it's natural for a divorced couple to end up hating each other?
I don't think that, no, I don't think it's natural to hate anybody, but then divorce is sometimes quite a different thing than whether you like the person or not. Just happens. I'm told. Let's see what time is it now. I'm going to say a counselor would not say that. I'm going to say low. 28.
28 out of 100 marriage counselors said it's natural to hate the other person in a divorce.
Barbara told me, Barbara said if you ever get a divorce, she's going to hate not only you, but both of us.
At the same time.
So I'll say a little bit higher, Jim.
A little higher.
That's
We
what
have to
Barbara
think about
said.
that for a moment. The actual number of marriage counselors who said it's natural for a divorced couple to end up hating each other is 24. Not higher, it's lower. 8 is a very strong word. Jack, you got a 6.
I'm going to change the 6-0.
See if you can improve that 6.
Oh, look
Now a
how
10
now
again.
that's a lot better, right? Against the odds for no particular reason, higher.
Oh, he's got a feeling way against the odds. No. Oh, if you had solved that with the odds, you would have been sitting in the catbird seat. But right now, Bill is back in it with a 9.
And I can't change it.
You must play it.
I must play it. Lower.
You say lower, and it is a 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. A 6.
Higher.
Oh, he's risking it, and he's right with the king. For a crack at the money, he did it. Oh! Jack Clark took a big chance, and Bill Cullen runs the board.
And I'm applying for a brain transplant.
Jack, we'll see you a little later in the tournament. Right now, you still have $5,175. Jack, see you later. Bill, come on down here with me, if you will, sir. We'll be right back with the money cards after this.
Get ready to match the star.
Match game. Face swapping before swapping faces was cool. Tonight at 2 on Buzzer.
Thank you, Gene. Back with Bill Cullen. Well, you were lucky over there.
I lucked into it.
Let's see it work now.
Jack came up with all the good answers, and my dumb luck, I ended up winning the game.
Ah, you played the cards well. Let's play them well right now as Lois and Melinda come out and start dealing them out. You know how we do it. We're going to give you $200 of new money. 3 cards to bet as you will on the bottom line. And then when you move up to the second level, we'll add another $200 of betting money. 3 more cards. Minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card where you must risk at least half. Doesn't sound like much, 200 and 200. But if you doubled all the way up, $28,800 could be won right now for your charity.
Oh, my, I couldn't live through $28,000 without trying.
Try. Right. Here's $200. And remember, too, that you can change the base card on each level if you need to, Bill.
All right.
Thank you, Melinda. 07.
Yeah, I'm going to change that. That's a change.
Only change it once. You must play this. Well, a 5 is better.
I will bet 5. I'm going to be conservative. I will bet $50 higher.
The minimum bet, $50.
Right.
Higher than a 5. And he's right,
That's
with a
fair.
10. Still not the best card in the deck.
I will bet another $50 lower.
$50, lower than a 10. And right now we're looking at a pretty good card.
Now I will bet $250 higher.
And a big bet, $250. Higher than a 3. Yes.
Okay.
And if you're going to get that terrible middle card, the 8, this is the place to get it, because you don't have to play it when we give you the other 200.
I will change that card, as they say.
I cannot blame you. What a king! It's a good change.
$700 lower.
$700 lower than a king.
Well, I got $50. Oh, that was conservative of me, wasn't it?
Well,
I will bet $49. I have to bet the whole 50 now.
$50
lower.
Come on, be there
Where were
lower.
you when I
Oh,
knew?
what 2? Oh, if you had had a little more.
The whole 100 higher.
Trying for 200. Yes, and a 3. If it
That's
wasn't
rich.
for that double king, were you in great shape? It's still a good card. We move it up. Let's make it.
I might as well, to win, something at this point, I will go the whole 200 higher.
Ah, you got to. You got to go.
Yeah, the whole 200.
$400.
Get
That
up
can do
there.
a lot of good if this card is higher. And it is. Just that double king stood in your way. Oh, if you had given that cut just a little bit different. But another 400. The Salvation Army is still, at this point, $6,700 richer. You're doing well for them. We'll be right back with Alex Trebek and Bill Cullen as we continue the round robin after this.
Oh,
And we are back. We're still talking about those money cards. If that had been a queen instead of a king, oh, you would have really cleaned up. Yeah. But you're doing very well. Now, as I mentioned, is Alex Trebek back for the Interagency Council for Child Abuse and Neglect. We can welcome Mr. Trebek back among us.
Okay, gonna do my thing. Good luck.
Bill Cullen still with the Salvation Army. He scores very close now as we switch partners. Listen to this now. Remember that the 2 highest are going to play, and someone gets an additional $25,000 for their charity. Right now, Gene Rayburn, $5,675 for his charity. Alex Trebek in the lead, $10,150. Bill Cullen, $6,700 in second place, and Jack Clark, $5,175. It is very, very close as we continue on.
I want to go home.
2 brand new decks of cards after the nice gentleman cut them, and here we go. Best 2 out of 3, and a question to Alex. Alex, we surveyed 100 women inmates. These are all women who are currently...
Friends of mine.
They all talked about you, too, as a matter
course.
Most of them said you were why they got in there. These are all women who are currently serving time in a California state prison. And we asked them, listen to this, have you ever had a prison meal that was so good you asked the cook for the recipe? How many women inmates said yes, they've asked the prison cook for the recipe?
Cullen says, good luck, Alex. Glad I don't have that question. By the time you get in there and spend time in prison, you get so jaded and so cheesed off at everything. There may be a
Speaking of
few
food?
Looney Tunes, and I'll say maybe 12 as a
12
joke.
have asked the prison cook for the recipe. Higher or lower,
That's
Bill?
a good number. 12 is a good number because, some of them would, as you say, they do crazy things. Many of those 100 inmates were here at the show just last week when they surveyed them.
And about 80 of them stayed over for today.
Even though 12 is a terribly low number, I'm going to say lower.
Even lower than that.
was good.
Trying to undercut me.
Exactly.
The
That was a
actual
good
number
pick.
of women inmates who have asked the cook for the recipe is 16. He couldn't undercut him. Alex has got it. It is not lower.
Holy smoke!
And Alex Trebek with a 4.
Look at that.
Got it. Higher than a 4. No. Bill Cullen continues his good luck and a 3.
Higher.
Higher than a 3.
Lower.
A king.
Lower.
Lower than a king. A jack.
Lower.
Trying to go lower. An 8.
3.
Well, you opened the door for
Why
Mr.
does it
Cullen.
always happen to me? Last week I got a 3, and I said higher, and it came out a 2.
You get the feeling that he's a little bit competitive, friends. He remembers every card they ever lost with.
Well, that was only on Tuesday. Wednesday was a different story.
Bill, we asked 100 married women. If a married couple disagrees about whether or not to have more children, should the wife have the final say in the decision? How many women said yes, the wife should have the final say?
Oh, I should think the woman certainly should have the say, and you queried women, is that right?
That's right.
I would say 72,
72.
as opposed to 71, yes.
72 out of 100 married women said that the woman should have the final say.
I think it's one of these joint decisions, but
I would think so, yes.
the people in the audience are yelling higher. 72?
Bill is just sitting there chuckling.
Yes, I know what he's chuckling about. 72. That's a good number, 72. That's as good as my 12 a while ago. I will say higher.
Higher. And again, trying to get squeezed out, but he's going for it. The actual number of women who said the wife should have the final say is 54. Not higher. It's lower. I think you were probably on the right track when you said a joint decision. And Bill, you've got an 8.
I understand I may change that
You
card.
may indeed.
I will change that
You won the
card
question,
because
and
that's
it is a
a
big
dumb
change,
card.
leading 1, and he's got a
that's
4.
a better card. Higher.
For the game. Yes, for the big ace. Bill Cullen has game 1. Don't tell him he doesn't
I want
care.
to win.
I care a lot. Same 2 decks of cards. Next card's off the top of the deck. We start game 2. Alex. Alex, our man on the street, took a survey of 100 men in the audience of the Miss Nude USA beauty pageant.
Right.
And he asked them, did you bring your binoculars today? How many men said yes, they did?
Where was the Miss Nude pageant held? I mean, was it in a garage? Or
No,
in
that's
big
a
hall?
legitimate, the Miss Nude Beauty USA
I know that.
beauty
But
pageant.
was it in a big hall? I mean, if you're far away.
Oh, I don't know.
See,
That's
you
an
don't-
interesting question. I don't know what... It was outdoor. Our associate producer, Dennis Gagnon, who had the difficult decision of going and surveying everybody there, right? He didn't come back for 4 months, friends. The first time we've seen him since. So it was
He
outdoors.
did come back with a lovely 10.
He certainly did.
I would say, how many brought their
One is
binoculars? Those who would go to that kind of a 62.
62 out of 100 men brought their binoculars.
Higher, they're saying.
Well, look at me. I haven't been right yet.
They're saying higher. I have to say lower because binoculars spoil it. You just see a little bit at a time. I mean, you stand back and see a whole
Are you
thing.
speaking from experience?
Oh,
Mr.
I
Steve?
am, yes.
He carries a little tiny one around with him all the time. Oh, I know that girl. 62 and lower. The actual number of men who brought binoculars to the Miss Nude USA beauty pageant is 5. That's all. You're right.
Sure.
Start with a queen.
That's a good card. Lower.
Lower than a queen. Oh, no.
Well, that's the same
Alex
card.
gets a break.
for me.
And a 6.
Not a break. Higher.
Higher than a 6. A queen.
Lower.
Lower than a queen.
Don't drop it. Oh, don't drop it.
Let's go to 7.
Freeze.
Yeah, it was very cold. I couldn't hold on to it. So question 2 will be coming up in this close game right after this.
On the next Card Sharks Turnabout Tournament,
We're in the second half of this round robin.
the Alex Bill battle continues. Who'll go to the finals? Coming up next on Buzzer.
Got Got a good match going. We'll complete it tomorrow. Nice people in the audience. Some from Champaign, Illinois, and others from the NBC affiliate in London, England. We'll see you tomorrow on Crack Shark.
Some members of the studio audience will receive head-to-toe beauty appliances from Conair, a collection of quality personal care appliances. Conair offers you professional quality for use at home. A catalog gift certificate and Brock's old-fashioned candy store taste. Pure real chocolate, fresh, good-tasting ingredients. Brock's, the candy store candy. Kentucky Fried Chicken gift certificate checks and an insulated thermal bag to keep things fresh. Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right. A calculator in Shout Liquid, Shout Aerosol. 2 ways to tackle your tough stains. Want a tough stain out, shout it out. A cookbook and utensils to make someone happy with Betty Crocker Frosting Mix. Delicious flavors like coconut pecan, real coconut, crunchy pecans. Betty Crocker Frosting Mix makes great tasting frosting. A bathroom scale, the new Renewcid adjustable air freshener. It lasts 25% longer. Open it a little or a lot. It all depends on the odors you've got. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.